Welcome to Chapter 7, Homicide. In this chapter, we start out talking about the common law development of the laws of homicide, breaking it down into categories. That has a very interesting history associated with the church and the crown, and people trying to get out of the death penalty, basically. And those historical categories are still used by us today in the United States. We'll talk about elements of the crime: capital and aggravated first-degree murder, second-degree murder. We'll talk about manslaughter. We go over when life begins and when life ends. That becomes important in terms of causing someone's death. Let's say you commit some crime that hurts someone and the person dies after 6 months. Are you guilty of murder? That's a question that has to be decided, and so that will be discussed in this chapter. Also, in the context of these discussions, I have woven into this presentation several documentary videos regarding killers and various aspects of their crimes, which is creepy, frankly, but it's also very interesting, and so I think that you'll enjoy that. We start out with Jack the Ripper, then we go through Michael Stone's scale of evil, which is extremely interesting, categorizing different murderers as more or less evil than each other. There's a great video on that. Eileen Wuornos, you've got to watch that video. The one that I have posted is excellent. There's also another one called The Selling of a Serial Killer that you can find easily on YouTube. Just search Selling of a Serial Killer and you'll find it, and it's really quite amazing. The story of Eileen Wuornos. As you'll see in this presentation, she claimed self-defense, which isn't that surprising or unusual, except that she claimed self-defense on 7 separate occasions. She was a prostitute, and she claimed that these Johns, I guess you could say, tried to rape her or hurt her, and so she killed them in self-defense, which again, certainly possibility. 7 times, maybe not quite as likely, but that was her defense. So definitely watch that. David Berkowitz, son of Sam, says that he was coerced to commit murder by a satanic cult. We've also got a video that goes over some more current cases. George Zimmerman and Conrad Murray, that's Michael Jackson's doctor, was Michael Jackson's doctor. John Wayne Gacy, who claimed an insanity defense. Richard Ramirez, also known as the Night Stalker, who used a variety of different ways to kill. That's my dog squeaking his toy in the background, so don't worry about that, all right? Then we go into assisted suicide with Dr. Kavorki, and there's a video of him, which I think is worth watching, and I encourage you to watch it. Still on that topic of suicide, you're definitely going to also want to see, first of all, California just very recently passed its own death with dignity law. That's kind of what they're calling these laws, legalizing suicide. And on the flip side of that, we've got William Melcher Dinkle. There's a video on him that you'll definitely want to watch. Someone who was convincing people to commit suicide that he met over the internet. So that's something. We've got Charles Manson covered in this chapter with a video of him together with Jeffrey Dahmer. Like I say, kind of creepy, maybe really creepy, but also very interesting, all of these documentaries. So I strongly encourage you to watch them. Basically, as I said, we also go over manslaughter, the beginning of life. So what constitutes a murder? If you kill someone who's pregnant, are you guilty of murdering the child as well? And I already covered the end of life. If you do something to someone that results in the person's death, but it takes 6 months or a year and a day, or a year and 2 days, which is important because of the year and a day rule. So that's it in a nutshell. It's a very interesting chapter. I hope that you enjoy it.